Before we begin, Miss Misa Rants on Twitter did me another commission, an updated version of my last avatar. I think it's adorable, check her out. If you guys know about Creepshow art, which you probably do, you should also have heard of the creator Tobi. And Tobi made a video criticising Shannon, Creepshow art, on certain things about her content. I watched the video and I thought she made some very valid points, but recently she came up with this now deleted video, thanks to the Hotbox for providing me with the clip that I will use in this video, going off on channels for criticising Shane Dawson and PewDiePie and Gabbi Hanna. I'm going to play a segment of this clip that is at the very end of the clip, but I want this to be in people's minds when listening to my response.
I don't know. I think we should be focusing on stuff that actually matters.
I think we should be focusing on stuff that actually matters.
I'm not going far into this because I literally do not have the mental energy to push myself through this entire, it's such dumb bullshit. I'm sorry, I can't. I have things that are severely more important. First, I'm blocking several drama channels, well, every drama channel and several commentary channels because I've had it. I've reached, at this point, for a while now, I've tried my best to keep my mouth shut about several topics, but I'm done.
You're blocking drama channels and some commentary channels. Which of these channels are DMing you every single day saying you have to talk on this topic, you have to watch my video on this topic, it's important? Who is doing this? I understand not wanting to follow them or subscribe to them, but outright blocking them. Who is doing this? Let me know. I get that maybe they'll show up on your timeline, but when that happens, it's normally because you've watched a video of theirs and therefore more of their content will show up on your suggested and your homepage. So just don't watch them and watch other things, then they won't be on your timeline anymore.
I'm done. I'm sick and tired of commentary channels and drama channels that severely hyper-criticize and pick apart every single little thing that somebody does online, even though they know themselves as creators that there is shit that goes on behind closed doors.
That's why the majority of drama and commentary channels report on what is public and not what is behind closed doors. What does other things happening behind the scenes have to do with some of the problematic behaviour that we see online? I don't get it. Just because I've had a really crappy day, let's say for example, I've been fired. I haven't been fired, my manager loves me, but I've been fired and I've been kicked out of my house, and therefore things are really bad, but I upload a video that has a lot of insensitive things in it. I can't fall back and say, things are happening behind the scenes, I've been fired and kicked out. Like, what? You can't just punch someone in the face and then say, well, I've been really depressed lately. It doesn't fly outside of the internet, and it shouldn't fly on the internet.
That the public does not know about for a reason. They take apart anybody's statement and they reword it.
I'm going to need some examples of this, because I can't just take your word for it. As a commentary channel, I'm not privy to what every single other commentary channel does. So if you're referring to a specific example or examples, I'm going to need some references, please.
Conveniently to fit narrative, and I'm done. This is the reason why PewDiePie doesn't do Pew News anymore, because people get so hyped up about dumb bull that doesn't matter. It does not matter, and I'm done. If you haven't reached it with my voice, I am severely annoyed by this.
Yeah, wow, I really couldn't tell, thanks for the disclaimer.
It's been going on for a long time, in a while, and I've literally reached my peak of being able to just eat the giant dog that is all this content. Boring and lazy and repetitive content.
I kind of feel personally attacked right now. I came here for a good time. Just was attacked. Oh. Again, if you think the content is rubbish, no one is forcing it down your throat. No one is forcing you to click on that video. Maybe YouTube promotes certain videos over others, but you don't have to watch it. No one is holding a weapon to your head and stating, click it, watch all of it, all of it. This ain't Assassin's Creed. Ezio isn't going to jump in from your window in the night and force you to click and watch every ad, every single ad.
This is why I don't talk about a lot of this stuff. I don't talk about a lot of these people because, well, besides my Creepshow video, a lot of the things that I like to talk to when I am hyper-criticizing something, it's more picking it apart for fun.
You admit that you also hyper-criticize, but only pick things apart for fun? That's what I do. That's what a lot of commentary channels do. There doesn't have to be a deeper meaning or a deeper message to any video. You can pick things apart for fun. But as video inception goes, at the beginning of this video, I played a clip from the end of this video where you say we should focus on things that actually matter. That is a complete contradiction. You should focus on things that matter, but you can pick apart and criticize for fun. What?
In roasting, it's not like, how dare this person do this? Oh my god, tweet that they made, oh my god, blah, 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 blah. Like, no, that's fucking time consuming and it doesn't matter.
Okay, but you brought up things in your own Creepshow art video that doesn't matter. For example, her making her header a quote-unquote hate tweet, which was just petty and doesn't really matter at the end of the day.
It does not matter. You need to sit down and realize what's actually important and what's not. And it's not just about Shane.
How exactly is it hypercritical to point out a pattern of insensitive and problematic behaviour spanning back years? We don't have to exactly pick apart everything about Shane because it's right there in front of our faces.
It's about many other kind of creators and people who have been picked apart wrongfully, I feel like.
Keep that in mind. Wrongfully, I feel like.
To a degree, Gabbi Hanna, where everybody was down her throat, and then, she comes out with a video finally talking about everything. And it's like, no matter what you do, you're going to be criticized. And I'm sorry, like, I'm done. Like, and I can't sit here and fucking hypercriticize. Apparently, I can't sit here and bitch about it, which is hypocritical, so.
At least you can admit it.
I'm flawed. I'm sorry. But, like, no, I'm sorry. I support Shane Dawson. I've been a fan of his ever since 2010.
What pisses me off about this video is that you and your bias are setting a standard for what should and shouldn't be focused on, and that standard is wholeheartedly subjective and flawed. Are black people not allowed to hyper-criticize Shane Dawson for the videos he made in blackface? Is that what you're trying to say? That pisses you off, that people were hurt by that? You're saying that people who were offended by that are being overly nitpicky when it's right there in their faces, a repeated pattern. You don't even need to be hypercritical about it, it's just that. But because it's one of your faves, they're being so pedantic and nitpicky. In the case of Shane Dawson, it is not pedantic. It's not necessarily even bringing up their past that was secretly hidden. It was there all along. It seems to me that you're pissed off because you've bought into this super uwu sensitive empath Shane Dawson persona and don't like the fact that he's being called out. And it is rightful because he did those things.
I've been a fan of PewDiePie. Even when he had the video where he said, I'm still a supporter. I'm floor gang for life.
I actually view PewDiePie differently than Shane Dawson because unlike Shane Dawson, PewDiePie doesn't have a systematic pattern of behaviour. A systematic pattern of behaviour that includes insensitive and offensive comments. Felix has done and has said ridiculously offensive things. I'm a Jew, by the way, and the difference herein is it seems to be a couple of occasions where it was clearly done in a comedic sense. People who are Jews are allowed to disagree with me and say that it was horrible and offensive and irredeemable, but I don't see it the same way. PewDiePie doesn't have an entire library of videos of him in blackface or making fun of anti-Semitic cartoons. And from what I can see, when PewDiePie was accused of being part of a certain 1940s political party, the internet rallied behind him and defended him. This isn't really a comparison.
I love Gabbi Hanna. She has messed up, and her anger problems in the past have definitely been an issue. But I still think she's a good person.
You're truly minimalizing everything that Gabbi has done, and I have a video on Gabbi and why she's the common denominator. Because when someone finds themselves consistently in drama, they're probably the common denominator. It's just a fact of life. There's a reason why I have minimal drama in my own life, because I don't stir drama. Gabbi is definitely a drama stirrer, and to put it down to having anger issues just isn't encapsulating it enough. She has a history of overstepping lines, for example, the Trisha Paytas thing with her boyfriend at the time, which, if you like Trisha or not, was still overstepping a massive boundary. She deletes tweets and takes down videos and then asks people for the evidence that she did something wrong. I don't necessarily think that she's a bad person, but she's a person who needs a lot of work done on her, and if these things aren't pointed out, how can anyone ever hope to grow?
You know, there are a good handful of controversial people that I like, that people did these commentary channels consistently hyper criticize, and I'm done. Like, I'm legitimately done. And I'm not saying all of it is like that, because there's definitely people who do deserve to be on those kinds of channels. J Station is a sociopath piece of number one.
Refer to this video on antisocial personality disorder to find out what I think you just said was really disgusting, stigmatizing, and inaccurate.
Jake and Logan Paul are reckless and stupid and do not take into accountability of their actions. It took oh my god, it took Logan filming a body, which, by the way, I'm really surprised none of his crew members were like, hey, maybe we shouldn't post this. You know, that's really honestly kind of also shocking. And like Onision, like those kinds of people do deserve to be on those channels because they are people. They are people, you know?
You do know that people can be criticized on things that aren't extremes, right? There are flaws in everyone, and criticizing other people can help us internalize and see those flaws in ourselves. But you think that the most extreme cases are the only ones that are valid for criticism. While Shane himself may not be an undesirable, he definitely curated content that appeased undesirables. Is that not problematic, or is that just not severe enough? He may not have made videos consistently screaming the N-word at random intervals, but he did in fact portray black people as a comedic tool, which perpetuates stigma around black people and blackness. Is that not severe enough? You have to actually just film bodies in forests for it to qualify as okay.
But I'm done. Like, I'm legitimately done. Like, on my channel, I do kind of criticize people, of course I do, but it's more of a roasting and picking apart for fun, except for my Creepshow video. And that's what I want to do. I do not want to be around these hypercritical people.
Pray tell me the semantic difference between being hypercritical and picking apart.
I'm blocking several people because I'm sick of seeing it. My BPD, I can't be around this. Like, I legitimately can't be around it. I can't handle it. I've tried so many times to control it, but I've definitely seen in myself that I cannot handle being around people like that.
I find it interesting how you bring up your BPD, which I won't use to discredit you. However, being blind to certain valid criticisms and dismissing them as hypercritical thinking isn't part of BPD. That's just you. Rather than being angry at these people, maybe listen to them a little bit more and open your mind a bit, and maybe you won't be as severely affected by it.
And I don't want to. The thing, especially, I can't say that. I can't say that publicly.
People's quote-unquote hypercriticism of Shane Dawson's use of blackface, anti-Semitic imagery, yellowface, and also children is disgusting. But him doing those things isn't. Okay. Also, if you're going to say especially and then not name the channel or person, that is a coward's move. You're making this video, you may as well call out people. I mean, you're going to block them anyway, right?
So, yeah, I'm sorry for this unedited bit. I just had to get this out there because I've been holding that kind of opinion back for a very, very, very long time. And I just need to talk about it. So I'm extremely sorry if you've made it through this whole video and you're like, oh, this is crazy. Yeah, I'm a little bit, but, you know, I don't know. I think we should be focusing on stuff that actually matters, you know. But if I lost your support, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. I'm standing my ground on this, and I'm not changing my mind. Because I've believed this for a very long time. I've just never expressed it. So, yeah. Sorry, guys.
This is an example of a toxic fan. A fan who dismisses valid criticism as hypercriticism, an attack, hate, and don't actually listen to the majority of what's being said. The tone of the video is what bothered me the most, the way that she was banging on the table and being aggressive and hostile as if she's trying to implement something, trying to implement her own standard of what should and shouldn't be criticised. And I know this video was just her opinion, and I know she wasn't trying to tell people what to do and say, it's just the tone of it really made it sound like that, and that's a massive problem. It came across as a tantrum by an entitled child who wasn't getting what they wanted. I know you have BPD. I know people with BPD. I know how hard that can be, but you have to think before you post these things because you knew it was a bad idea because you deleted the video. And you can't dismiss valid concerns by people who've been hurt, offended, or otherwise affected by the actions of these creators as being hypercritical and nitpicky. That's all I really have to say about this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope it wasn't too harsh. I became a bit sarcastic because it was frustrating to actually respond to this. But all of my links are down in the description, my Twitter, my Etsy store Instagram, my Patreon and my PayPal if you wish to send me a tip. I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye.